Hey, so today I want to take some time to talk about another Otome game I just recently finished, which is OZMAFIA. Like my amnesia review, I'm going to keep this review to the plot, characters, routes, secrets, and finishing bonuses and endings. I'm going to talk a little bit about the epilogue and grand ending, but I won't go into spoiler detail. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler-free review because I really want more people to get into this game and enjoy it as much as I did. I will be using a lot of CGs though, so if that's considered a spoiler, then click off now. Let's get into it with the plot. The game starts off with the MC, whose name is changeable, but for this review, I'm going to call her by her original name, which is Fuka, waking up in an alleyway with no prior memories to her arrival. It's up to find a man with wolf-like eyes saying that she is his prey and he's going to kill her, so she immediately starts running. During her escape, she bumps into the town Don Karamia, who is also backed up by two others, Kyrie and Axel. The three guys fight off the man who was chasing her and take you back to their mansion and ask you some questions. Fuka explains she has no memories prior to waking up in the alleyway and that she's not affiliated with any of the Mafia members. Hearing this, the Oz family decides to take you in. At this point, you're introduced to other leaders of the other towns who are mostly skeptical of you, but they'll warm up to you eventually. Explain that all the towns are at war, and only on Sundays does the fighting ever end, and it's kinda like a day of peace. After this, the game will branch off slightly depending on the route you're in, but that's the main plot of all the routes, including the secret one. And now, for the characters. When I say there's a lot of characters in OZMAFIA, and talking about each and every one of them in great detail, we'd be here all day. So I'm just going to talk about all the main ones that you'll need to know, and a little bit about each of them. Fuka is a character you play as, and she's exactly what you'd expect from an Otome. Nice, helpful, and clumsy. She literally trips over something in every single route. She is pretty dumb at times, though, where she'll knowingly walk into a war zone or in the middle of a fight just to see the guy she's pursuing. Fuka really isn't anything too special character-wise, but she isn't that bad for the most part. Karamia is Don of Oz. He's kinda what you'd expect to be the first guy you bump into. He's sweet and he likes cooking and taking care of Oz while putting his town above all else. He's a really nice guy with a huge army of fangirls, and it's pretty easy to see why. Kyrie, along with being the most intelligent person in Oz and also one of the shadiest, he's also the right-hand man to Karamia. Kyrie is obsessed with teasing literally everyone and seeing how they'll react and how their faces will look in the face of despair. So if you put it like that, it kinda sounds like Flabby from Undertale and Junko Anashima from Danganronpa had a child. Personally, I didn't really like Kyrie until the epilogue of the game, because even in his best ending, he still wants to make you feel despair all the time. Isn't he such a nice guy? So when you first meet him, he's a kind of shy guy whose only hobby is his job and he's always following the rules. His deepest, darkest secret, and also one of his most embarrassing things in his opinion, is that he's a guy, but he really likes sweets. Anything sugar related and he'll just eat it. Few scenes, he's caught stealing sweets from Don and Kyrie, and he'll also eat anything that So gives him. Overall, he's my personal favorite character of this game, and he's just a really sweet guy. See what I did there? Scarlet is the temporary leader of the Grimms. He's actually a pretty serious guy who's very annoyed about how short he is, but he'll always try his best no matter what. If Hansel or Gretel ever causes any damage to any of the towns, he'll have to personally go to the other towns and apologize. So, even though he's a sniper, he never likes using his rifle for spoiler reasons which I can't really give away in this video. An amazing character who really deserves more appreciation in my opinion. Hachette is the Dawn of the Boots. Kinda like Jaehee from Missing Messenger, where she'll always put work ahead of her own personal life, and she gets along with the MC very well in her own route. Robin Hood is the doctor for all the towns, including the slums. A pretty mysterious guy with his face almost always covered in that mask, and he's pretty protective of a certain room in his clinic that no one else except for him is allowed to go into. This guy has a lot of spoilers, so I can't really say that much about him. So runs a small food shop in the middle of the neutral part of town. He's as sweet as his food is, and he's very helpful in every single route, but the downside is that he's part of the Wolf Clan, which is supposed to be the bad guys of this game. So he'll never make any attempts to hurt you or kidnap you though, and in some cases, he'll actually try to protect you from the Wolf Clan. Just like Robin Hood, so has many spoilers related to him, so I can't really say that much more about him. Caesar is the same guy from the beginning of the game who says he wants to kill you. He's also the leader of the Wolf Clan. He's not the big bad wolf from the Three Little Pigs story, so he's kinda what you expect, but he does surprisingly have a lot of redeeming qualities about him. Amazingly, he actually follows the Sunday rule where he doesn't attack anyone on Sundays, so that's when you can sometimes talk to him and get to know him a bit better. Once again, spoilers literally everywhere for this guy, so I can't say more about him. Hamlin is the true antagonist of this game. It's implied that he committed a massive crime just about a week before he woke up in the alleyway. It's not really ever said what he did exactly, but it did get him banished from all the towns. Due You get to find out eventually what he did in Robin Hood's route and a few other ones, but since it's kind of a spoiler, I can't really say what it is here. You'll just have to find out for yourselves. Since they all work at the quote-unquote salon together, I'm going to talk about all three of them at once. Dorian is the owner of this place. Manboy and Alphani are workers here. This place is actually a brothel. If you don't know what a brothel is, then you're probably too young for this game. Characters can be summed up in one sentence. Dorian's a creep, Alphani's a kinky little cinnamon roll, and Manboy is too innocent to work at a place like this. There are a lot of other minor characters, but those are all the main ones you'll need to know about. Now, I'll talk about the 10 different routes in OZMAFIA. Separate the routes into two different categories, normal routes and deep routes. Normal route is what you expect from an Otome game, a lighthearted story with a sweet ending. Deep routes, on the other hand, are routes that'll give away a lot of major aspects of the story, and all the endings are very sad or leave you with a feeling of utter despair for the next day. Side note, the first route you'll ever do in OZMAFIA will take anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, depending on how many endings you're planning to get. Every route following will take anywhere from 1 to 4 hours. I'm going to talk about the normal routes now. 5 normal routes are Karamia, Kyrie, Axel, Starlet, and Pachette. The Oz boys, you typically get closer to them by spending time with them on Sundays, and they'll occasionally ask you out, and you'll ask them the same. Karamia's route, you get closer to him by going out in town together and strengthening the bond while talking about many things, including the town, some lore, and the tower that stands in the middle of the town. Kyrie's route is kind of the same, but there's a lot more teasing and a lot more alcohol and gambling in his route. Axel's route, you'll go out on patrol with him, and occasionally on Sundays he'll follow you around and talk to you. Scarlet and Pachette have kind of friendship routes, but in Scarlet's route in the best ending, he does develop feelings for you eventually. Routes, you learn a lot about the towns they control and a lot about Hamlin as well in the process. For the deep routes, there is Caesar, So, Robin Hood, Hamlin, and the brothel route, which I'm going to get more in depth to a little bit later. Deep routes have a lot of spoilers in them, so I can't talk about the other 4 routes, but I am going to talk about the brothel route. I'll be talking about the endings in the brothel route and some things that happen, so this is your first and last spoiler warning. Please skip ahead a little bit just to avoid some spoilers for yourself if you do plan to play this game all the way through. It is very, very controversial in OZMAFIA because it does involve prostitutes and it does involve some mature themes. In the best ending, you do end up owning the brothel, but in the normal end, you kind of become the brothel's slave forever. But not the brothel's, more specifically Dorian's slave forever. One of the upsides though is that even though it's a bit of a weird route, Manboy is the one redeeming quality. Manboy will literally always try to defend you and try to keep you away from the place until you once again do eventually come in, because that's the whole route's idea. Manboy will actually try to help you escape at one point, but either way, Fuka will refuse because she's having too much fun apparently. If you have rather a dirty or dark sense of humor, you might actually end up liking this route like I did. I mean, I didn't like it for the content that was in it, I just like the awkward screenshots that I took from it and some awkward moments that look a bit questionable. If you are kind of sensitive to that type of thing though, I do recommend skipping this route entirely, or just skipping through the entire thing and just choosing the options and just getting through it quickly so you can 100% the game. Now, to those of you who actually want to play this game and want to take some advice from this, I'm going to give you the route order. I've done once again every single route in the game, so I know which routes are better to play first and last, so please, if you do want to play this game, take my advice. I recommend you Axel, Kyrie, Karamia, Pachette, Scarlet for the normal routes, and then Caesar, Brothel, Robin Hood, So, and then Hamlin. Trust me when I say you should leave So and Hamlin till the very, very end. If you want to play with Karamia or Kyrie instead, that's fine as long as you do all the Oz routes before you go to anyone else's route. This game has over 30 different endings. The Oz boys all have 4 different endings, and the other 7 have 2 different endings, and that is best end and a normal end. To get all the CGs and 100% in this game, you'll need to do every single ending in the game. Oz boys do something very, very special with their routes though. In their routes, they have things called transfer endings. At some point in every Oz route, another one of the Oz guys can also catch Fuka's fancy. I'm going to use Axel's route as an example. After the meteor shower gathering, when Axel confesses his feelings, which really isn't a spoiler because it happens in all the Oz routes, Kyrie will also try to convince Fuka that she should be with him instead of Axel. Now, like in most Otomes, you have to rather reject him or just prove your love is stronger, you can actually be with Kyrie if you want to, or Karamia. Either way, it's totally fine. There are 2 different transfer endings for each guy, and each of them have a CG or 2 along with them, so once again, if you want the completion bonus, you'll need to do these endings as well. Get any mashup possible, Axel to Karamia, Kyrie to Axel, Karamia to Kyrie, etc. endings are very, very unique, and they're very interesting for Otomes, because most of them don't really have them. And it's also pretty fun if you really like one of the OZMAFIA guys and don't really like one of them, because for instance, you'd be like, hey, I don't really like Kyria, but I like Axel. I'm gonna go to Axel's route instead. Bye. For completion bonuses, the epilogue and the grand ending. The epilogue you get by completing at least one ending in every single route, and the grand ending you get by completing every single ending in every single route. Warning, the epilogue is very, very sad, and it's the entire reason that I went from really hating Kyrie to really, really liking him and having him want to be one of my favorite characters. The guy's been through a lot, okay? He deserves more appreciation. Personally, I really like this game. It has everything I could really ask for. A bunch of routes, different storylines, and some completion bonuses with really nice looking CG. Just everything is amazing, and I recommend this to literally everyone. Some of the endings that I already mentioned are really sad, and they're really gonna probably make you cry, kinda like me, but it's all worth it in the end. The game's amazing, I literally cannot recommend it enough. And I really wish it had a bigger fandom as well. If you like games like Amnesia and Nameless, then you'll definitely like this one. But the only downside is, it's really not for beginners. It is kind of sad, and if this is your first experience with an Otome game, you'll probably have a pretty bad reputation with them, because you'll think all of them are really sad, all of them are kind of rushed and stuff like that, which probably isn't very good. For a first Otome, rather play Mystic Messenger or Amnesia Memories, because those are more a bit friendly towards new beginners and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm gonna end at the end of the video now, because this is getting a little long. Thank you to everyone who's gotten this far in the video. I really want to make some more OZMAFIA videos in the future, or if this one gets popular enough, either way. Well anyways, thank you guys for watching, that's all I got for today. Bye!